Right, let's go. Sunday reviews, yeah. Pre-market analysis. Feels like it feels like it's been ages since I've jumped in and done this, but we're back. We're live. It's obviously it's a late one. Been a busy day. Sunday, 25th of January. Come on. No, it is with a little SRT thing in there, yeah. We're getting it in. Right, we're gonna do our pre-week market analysis, yeah. We're going to just plan our shit, ready for next week, see what we're looking at. We're looking at that. CAD-GPY, we'll do a top-down analysis. Let me look at this quickly before I show you. So obviously I entered this trade, yeah. And I'll be real with you. Yeah, I entered too early, I moved my stops to break even and then I never re-entered because obviously because we're being disciplined at the moment and we're not taking multiple trades. One loss equals no trades for the rest of the day. So yeah, but pre this, actually, do you know what it is? Yeah, looking back at that actually makes a lot of sense now. No, not even, it doesn't. Right, look at this. I'm glad. I mean, to be fair, I would have hit TP anyways, but look at that there, look at that fall there. Absolutely just fell straight to hell. So, and obviously, I'll be real with you, I don't even know why that's happened. So, we're going to do a weekly. Right, okay. Right, so there we go, I get you. Yeah, so that's what's happened in it. That was a liquidity sweep on the weekly. Liquidity sweep on the weekly. You know what? I don't usually look at anything like that yet, but let me just pre the month. Yeah, so that could even be an order block. You could class that as an order block, then you can't really because it's not. It wasn't already in a downtrend. Do you know what I'm saying? See, do you know what? I'm gonna actually touch back up on my order blocks because I used to trade order blocks bare, but then I started getting deep into FVGs, and since then I haven't really fucked with them. So I'm gonna jump back into learning about them because there's been a couple times lately, yeah. Let me show you. Been a couple times lately. For example, let me have a look. Here for example. Obviously I did actually mark that as an order block though. I did mark this one. Yeah, so I marked that as a daily order block. So that was a daily there. And look, obviously if I could have got in that there, you're looking at like what? You're looking at mad. That's a mad risk to reward. Like 6 RR. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna look back into them. So for me, looking at this, right, let's look back on the weekly. So the monthly, when you're actually looking at that, yeah, for me now that is, we're in a downtrend, we're in a higher time frame downtrend, and then going back onto the week, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really call it a fair value gap, but if you really wanted to, you could. We've tapped into this little gap here, but then for me, just looking at it, that's a liquidity sleep. We've swept liquidity here, yeah. Ready, so we've swept liquidity. We've grabbed all the stops, all the buys, everything, blah blah blah, for us to just fucking fall now. Now, obviously, it's personal preference really, but for me, I like sells more because I don't know. Just looking at the charts, I find it easier to identify sells than I do buys, and that's just my personal preference. You know what I'm saying? Fucking you get your water and your creatine in. Big cup now, ready for March. Yeah, you know what's coming in March. But yeah, so for me, looking at that, that's a big liquidity sweep. That big liquidity sweep. Yeah. Do you know what? Let me actually see it. Yeah, so we've swept that there. Now drop down to the day. Yeah, massive, unbelievable. Now I'm gonna be weary of that, yeah, but the way I see it, yeah, the way I see this happening here is market's gonna open. We're going to continue falling. I'm going to watch out for here because obviously this is where our order block was. So there's going to be a reaction off of here. Probably going to fuck her out there and then fall. Right, but obviously when we fall, I'd be looking for a break and a retest. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but obviously when you're looking at it in terms of the lower time frames, like the 30-minute and 2-hour, price might come down, yeah, and you see, you see there where we've messed about this area, yeah. Well, you see when we come up, we'll sweep that there and then use that as liquidity. So it'll be in these areas where your fair value gap will be getting formed. That's when I'll be looking. That is where this area here is where I'll be looking for myself. Granted that it's going to go my way, yeah. And then from there, right, from there, really, I mean, obviously, I feel like the next couple of weeks is just going to be, we're just going to fall. And obviously this is my line of liquidity here. Yeah, I just don't know what that is. But like I say, when you're looking at the daily, the 4-hour, etc., all of these things, we are still bullish. So I'm just going to be very careful of anything really, to be honest with you. Let me just erase all of these. Oh my days. Yeah, so let's have a look on the daily. Right. So, looking on the daily, yeah, there's your liquidity on the daily. You swept the high there. So liquidity is there. Yeah, liquidity is there. Let's see what's happened here. So you've got minor liquidity there. Down. Okay, see, I'm sure I actually marked this up. Sure, I actually did mark this up, but I don't know what's happened to it. Because, see that there? Let me fucking see that there. I can't see us pulling back to this, to be totally honest with you. I'll be real. I just can't see it happening. But so you've got that there. Oh. I don't know why that's doing that. That was never happened like that before. So what must have been updated there. Yeah, boom, there's at the 30 minute. And the 30 minute ones. You got your 30 minute. Oh my days. That's your golden zone. There. There's your golden zone. There. Yeah. No, I can't see us pulling back to that. There's not a chance really. But in case we did, obviously though, to be fair as well, yeah, if we did pull back to there, that's where your EMA touch is as well, to be fair though. So let's say we did, which I can't see. Yeah, I can't see it happening at all. But if we did, like I say, we usually go for the golden zone. 9 times out of 10 price will come and touch the golden zone. The fuck? That is annoying. Let me just... okay. Oh, so I had that on. Alright, okay, so that's what that does. Yeah, safe. Right, okay, so yeah. Let's say we tap our golden zone. Do you know what? I just learned something new there. Tap our golden zone. Potentially, that could be a mega trade. But, like I say, I can't see it happening. But we're going to set a alert there. Just to see. And then we'll see what happens. Like I say, I'm going to watch for price when it gets around about this zone. We could even sweep liquidity there and end up going back up, but I mean I can't really see it happening because the higher, like the much higher time frames, we've just swept loads of liquidity there, like on the weekly. Like, look at the size of that wick there, unbelievable wick. Yeah, man, I can't see it happening. But like I say, we'll just watch and wait. So yeah, so anyways, for that, yeah, we haven't broke structure yet. But obviously we have broke structure on the lower time frames from the 2 hour up. No, 1 hour up. Yeah, from the 1 hour up we broke structure. So we're bullish on the 2 and the 4, but the daily, so we're bullish on the 2, 4 and daily, but on the weekly 1 hour and 30 minute we're bearish. Now let's jump over to Swiss franc. See, to be honest with you, I only really trade CAD and CHF. That's the only one really pairs of trade, to be honest with you. Obviously I just have USD there for a bit of a correlation because it's a bit of a slower one, and say I miss loads of the moves, then it's just good to have a bit of a spread, you know what I mean? Because you see sometimes, for example, you'll get an FVG printed on the CAD, but CHF won't print an FVG, and obviously, so therefore you've got a move you can take there, and it's vice versa sometimes. Each one of them gives you different opportunities, but obviously they're both pretty much go hand in hand, like identical pretty much. But yeah, so yeah, okay. I'll put the weekly off there. There's not really mad going on there. Not much going on CHF, to be fair, because realistically, this is what I'm saying, we could still end up being bullish there, because oh, right, yeah. Now this is a bit of a sticky one, because yeah, you've got that there. What's just gotta watch that one, because that could be a bit of a sticky one. Yeah, so you see this, yeah. Let me just look up something quick, because valid. But you know what it is, yeah, I can't. Nah. So to be fair, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna kind of see what price does here because I'm not so sure on it. That's mega. Right, okay. Yeah, so looking at this, it's the same. Same again, man. But obviously that's looking bullish, do you know what I mean? For me. Bearish, sorry. Well, it's turning bearish. But we'll see. For next week, to be honest with you, for the beginning of the week, I'm going to be watching for the beginning of the week, yeah. And fucking we'll see what next week does. Oh yeah. If anything, we're going to keep going down to here. Keep going down to here. Maybe sweep. That's a possibility there. Or just gotta wait and see. I'll be looking for the high time frame move on CAD, really. And like I say, on this, we could be like there, which like there. Shit. Oh. Yeah. What's that? So, I'm going to set 2 alerts here. Set an alert there. Oh, wait. Alert there. Create. And an alert there. See what's happening to them. That's it. Wait for my alerts. Watch to see what price can possibly do. And then as soon as I get some sort of confirmation, just react. Either place the trade if I'm confident with it, or don't place the trade and wait to get more opportunities. It's as simple as that, man. Nowadays we're being disciplined. It's boring. Do you know what I mean? Truthfully, when I was same thing every time, man. But now I feel like I finally broke the pattern. When I was doing my funded, when you get your funding. Oh. When you first start getting out of profit, you get down to drawdown, you get back up to break even, blah blah blah. It's just a rush, man. And I've tried to just completely eliminate all feelings, step back, make it as boring as possible, purely wait for my setup, and if I don't get it, I don't trade, and it's as boring as that, man. That's why we're popping off other things. But yeah, I'll check in with you next Sunday, and we're just counting down till March. I've got big things coming then, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, safe.